Earlier today in the House of Commons, Coventry South MP Zarah Sultana once again confronted Foreign Secretary David Lammy with Britain's continued arms sales to Israel. You literally won't believe what happened next. Take a look at this.
Between October and December 2024, the government approved over £127 million in export licenses to Israel, exceeding the combined total under the Tories for 2020 to 2023. These licenses, granted after the government's so-called temporary suspension, include components for lethal F-35 fighter jets. Jets Israel is now flying at 5 times the usual rate, decimating Gaza. Children are starving, families have been wiped out, hospitals destroyed. Yet the government in court claims that there is no evidence Israel targets civilians. The Foreign Secretary is personally responsible and refuses to ban all arms sales to this genocidal state. So, like many across Britain, I have to ask the Foreign Secretary, how do you sleep at night?
Well, the Honourable Lady has raised figures that I don't recognise. She's raised once again the issue of arms sales to Israel. I banned arms sales that could be used in Gaza. I know that the Honourable Lady is keen on clickbait, but I'm not going to be baited from this dispatch box.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I know she's keen on clickbait, so I'm going to make myself look like an arse on video that can be shared on social media. Well done, David. Passed that exam, didn't you? And by the way, in regards to the specific claim he repudiates, so there's no military technology that we're giving to the Israelis that can be used in Gaza. Complete bullshit. The UK is a big part of the F-35 supply chains to the Israeli Air Force. Besides the actual military hardware, the amount of recon and information the RAF is passing over to the Israeli government is extraordinary. It's more recon that's coming over, reconnaissance that's coming over from the RAF to Tel Aviv and the Israeli Defense Forces. More is coming from the Brits than from the Americans. So the idea that we don't play a highly active role, supportive role of Israel in what they're doing in Gaza is complete nonsense. Based out of the RAF's, base in Cyprus, RAF Akiratori, I think it is, 45-minute flight to Gaza, a central role from reconnaissance to hardware being exported, to potentially even UK Special Forces being in that part of the world. Of course, we don't know to what extent. It can't be verified because they're UK Special Forces. But nevertheless, the idea that we're just, passive spectators in all of this is ridiculous. And the way that he tries to discredit Zarah Sultana there by sort of going on, how do you sleep at night? Oh my God, don't go too far. 16,000 children have died. No big deal. Please don't get personal asking how I sleep at night. Well, you actually could do a lot more, right? You could be behaving like the Norwegians, for instance. The UK is a major player in many regards. It's on the UN Security Council, nuclear weapons. Like I say, the IDF's been reliant to some extent on Royal Air Force recon. You could do quite a lot of leverage. But don't ask me how I sleep at night, please. My goodness, how dare you. In case you missed it, Health Secretary Wes Streeting mutters, so cheap, in response to Sultana's point there and her question. So cheap. It's all so cheap. As if, again, who cares? Is that really the point here, Wes? 16,000 kids are killed with support from the RAF. A cheap comment because you can't sleep at night? Kieran, these people, I know they must see the same images that you and I see and all the people that watch and listen. They all see the same images, right? Of kids that are emaciated, of newborn children that, don't get access to ICUs and they die within hours or days of being born. The most incredible tragedy imaginable. I don't want to go overboard with it because it's deeply depressing and miserable, frankly. We've all seen those images. And yet, David Lammy and Wes Streeting seem to think that a question about whether or not the Foreign Secretary gets enough sleep is, you're going too far there.
Yeah, again, this is why it's utterly impossible to take any of their comments seriously. It's utterly impossible to take any kind of... I'm sure I want to believe that Mark Carney is a more serious politician than Keir Starmer. And I suspect on some levels he is. But this is why it's impossible to take this government at all seriously about this. And this is why I say, Keir Starmer, along with a cacophony of other international leaders gave Israel carte blanche, essentially, gave them the green light to carry this kind of thing out. And David Lammy is obviously his most complicit member of government in that as foreign secretary. And again, David Lammy saying, this is I'm going to call it pearl clutching, really, at this stage. Pearl clutching, while still going to Israel, still having his pictures with Hotoveli and others, far-right lunatics who are passionately cheering on the genocide, still having Israeli officials come to Britain and, stating that they have diplomatic and legal immunity as long as they're here. And then standing in front of Parliament as if we haven't all seen those things happen. I mean, it's amazing that he doesn't realise that we can see him when he's doing those things. So, yes, I'm glad that we've selected that clip to show because it perfectly undermines everything grandiose that David Lammy attempted to say earlier on in the piece. And it shows the unseriousness and the political game playing, ongoing, while they claim to also be trying to deal with or, annoyed at Israel about a starvation exercise, an extinction level event in Gaza, which they themselves have helped cheer on. All I can say, Aaron, is I said it, I think, last week on the show. These people inhabit a different moral universe to you and I. And I don't, it's difficult to understand what's going through their heads when they see the images that you've been talking about.